It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hello and welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. I'm your host, Uncle Roy. Oh, and my lovely sister, Miss Callie, is gone. Oh, I could cry. I still miss her. Oh God, I miss her. Oh, Miss Callie Alice, always getting into troubles. Oh, and I always got her out too. Yeah, I help her. Yeah, I'd lie for her, and I'd lay in the middle of the road for her in a second. Oh, I love her so much. Oh, Callie. I called her master today because I wanted to see if I could get her in the show today. I haven't heard back from him, of course. And I left a message on his voicemail saying, well, now that your Callie's aged, do you think you could possibly let me book her out for a show? You know, I'll never hear from him. Anyway, that's sad enough. I got my French outfit on, my little French hat and apron that I got from Paris last year because we're going on to Paris again. Yay! We're going to Paris again. And you're coming with me because I'm going to be bringing my little digital camera like last year, and I'll upload lots of videos wherever we go. You know, I'll be like a Japanese tourist, you know, stereotype, taking pictures of everything, you know, and that was me when I was in France last year. I'll do it again this year. And then I'll upload videos and pictures. So just stay tuned to the Northwoods Cooking Show on Facebook, on my Facebook page. And I'll upload to that almost like last year, every night at the end of the night, I'll just upload everything. Just stay tuned and it'll be a lot of fun. So let's get into our recipe. And because I'm going back to France, we are going to be making a French tart. And these are just so simple to make and easy to make. They're wonderful, but you see them in the bakeries in front of all the windows because they're so, I'm gonna say, elegant looking. They look like you put a lot of work into it, a lot of putzing around, you know how that goes? And it is, it's a lot of putzing around to get it, but it's only 3 ingredients. I mean, basically. What it is, it's your tart shell, your tart pan, and that's just, you know, you just the ring and the pan. Now they have these for sale at your stores. I got this at Williams-Sonoma, but they were right next to the non-stick Teflon kind. Get this one, not the Teflon, because they're brown. The Teflon, the non-stick ones are brown. And brown is a dark color that absorbs heat in your oven. If you do use the brown ones, which I don't want you to, but if you did, turn your oven down another 25 degrees, and that would help to compensate it, because the heat just gets sucked right into those dark brown pans, in your cake pans, bread pans, any of those Teflon dark ones. If they're the light gray, that's kind of better, or even white's better yet. But if that Teflon's a darker color, it's going to absorb all that heat and it burns the bottom. You'll notice that the bottoms of your cookies, of your cakes, breads, I noticed that. They were all burnt. And so that's why when I did my cook beds, I cut out the parchment paper and line that in the pan. It's just another extra protection against the extra heat. Mom and Grandma were always right. Get those old-fashioned tin ones, you know, the silver ones. Those work the best. But they spread the heat out evenly. So enough of that. What you have to do first though with this pan, spray the heck out of it. You want to just coat that. And I just get the baking kind of spray, which has kind of like a flour in it, flour oil. And that's always good on your cakes and stuff like that. Just coat the inside of the pan thoroughly. You don't want it dripping, you know, because that's going to change the texture then of your batter. So you just want that, just to make sure that's coated very well, because those things stick. The original tart dough that you can make from scratch, which we aren't today because I don't have time, and neither do you if I were to give you the recipe. But it's a lot of sugar in there. Not a lot of sugar, but enough in there so that when it bakes, that sugar melts and the dough sticks to the sides of those pans like white on rice. You know, it just sticks. It's hard to get out. So really want to oil it good, or spray. Then in our mixer. A half a cup, which is 1 stick, unsalted butter. So you want to get that plain white one, you know, the white colored box, not the blue one. That's your unsalted butter. And I just put this in the micro for like 20 seconds because this was like chilled hard. You want to, we're going to beat this soft for like 2 to 3 minutes or until it's light and fluffy. And when you go to lift it up, the butter will peak. And that's we want a soft peak to it. So we'll let this go buzzing around for a bit. And while that's buzzing around, this is the other big one. We're gonna have powdered sugar in here. Run it through your sifter. You don't want any lumps. And this is 1 cup plus 1 tablespoon and a half a tablespoon, which is 1 teaspoon and a half a teaspoon. So you need 1 cup, 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, and a half a teaspoon of powdered sugar. Sifted. You want that sifted because you want that fine. Speaking of sifting, now comes the other part. This is your almond meal, or almond flour it's called. And you can get it at most specialty shops or organic stores would have it. I happen to get this at Trader Joe's, which is a chain around here in the Twin Cities. And they had this, and it's just almond meal. That's it. Almonds, complete almonds. But you can see there's little brown specks in there. See? That's the skin from the nut. And we want to try to take out as much of that as we can, which is the chore. Not quite, but what we want is 1 cup and 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, and half a teaspoon, again, of the meal, the almond meal. So we'll put this in here. Let's see, I got a bowl here in the sink. So if I happen to over pour, it doesn't matter. I can just catch that and recycle it. And let's see my knife. Spread that out. I need 1 cup, 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, 1 half teaspoon. 1. 4 ones. This almond meal, it's just the ground almonds with the skins on it. That's all it is. But it's what gives it the flavor. Now, the French, and this is the true story. I even got this in my gourmet cookbooks from France. That the French think of the Americans that we put way too much sweet in our desserts, which we do. You know that as well as I do. Remember, 10 years ago, I think it was 1 out of 7 or 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10, I think it was. Had diabetes. The latest report, 1 out of 3. 1 out of 3 people is diabetic. And that was because, look at all the sugar we have. Mine was because of all the drinking I did. There's a lot of sugar and booze. So that's what made me diabetic. But yeah, the French were thinking that we Americans have way too much sugar in our food. So their desserts are not heavily sweet unless it's something that they put on the top, the surface, like icing or something. Because their batters, their cakes, their textures, the main portion of the consistency, I want to say bland, but they're not bland. They're very tasty, but they're just not sweet like we have. They're not fat pigs like we are. We are. Over there, everybody's so tiny and skinny. The men are like skinny. And I'm like, oh my Lord, everybody's so skinny over here. Well, they're not eating all that processed sugar. Hello. And look at us. Take a look in the mirror. Look around. There's just obese people around here. Everywhere obese. I was when I was young, but I've maintained myself, But still, oh my God, there's a lot out here in the suburbs. Oh my God, there's a lot of heavy kids that look like about 15, 20 years old, and they're only like 5 or 6. Oh my God, they're just huge. But that's the one thing to do now about this new setup here with the lights. Oh my God, it is so hot in here really fast. Oh, say hello to the fishies. Oh, we still got something left from the old place. Oh, the fishies. Hello. Oh, the only thing I got to talk to. I can't talk to Callie because she's not here, and I always talk to myself thinking that she is here. Well, now I start talking to the fishies. Yeah, time for the rubber room, I think. All right, now, so this is all the, okay, now we got to put in our powdered sugar, and we'll put this on a low speed. Low, there we go, 1 notch. See, this is the time-consuming bit. Everything is, so it's just going to be the crust, the filling, and the fruit. That's it, those 3 things. But it's just each one of those things that you have to make. It takes a little time. So while this is mixing now on low, we're going to be putting in our powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons at a time. Let that thoroughly mix and dissolve, and then add 2 more tablespoons. Okay, now we got to get back to this almond. Here we go. I just have the small one. I don't know where my bigger ones are. Storage, probably. Yes, of course, that's where it is. Everything is. You want to take your little sieve. This is what we're going to do to get rid of those little brown patches of skin. So just put your almond meal, almond flour in there, and get a spoon and just start scraping away. Scrape, scrape, scrape. So you just want to take and scrape the inside of this so that all that flour starts falling down. And it doesn't take it all out. It's not going to. But it gets a lot of it out. A lot of the brown flecks of skin. And it's not going to kill you if you have a lot in there. I don't know why they take it out, because they don't want it to look speckled. You know, they want it, if it could be pure white almond flour, if it was bleached out, that'd be better yet, you know, but they don't make it that way. Because the almond flour is more of a natural thing. And so that's why you have all these flecks in there. But if you just, you know, run it through the sieve like this, you just take and just scrape it against the wire. You don't want to push down and wreck your wire. But just, you know, scrape like that. And then you're going to end up with a lot of the shells, skins in the bottom of the sieve. Then just dump those out, add more flour, continue, continue. And we'll do this with the almond flour. And the all-purpose flour you can run through the sieve too. And for that one is that another one. That's only 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of all-purpose flour. Put that in through here too and mix that in together. Then we're going to take our little wire whisk and mix that all together, the white flour and the almond flour. So let me get a breath of air after talking so much and get this flour done, and I'll get this butter and powdered sugar done, and then we'll start putting it together, just the filling. So we'll be right back. All right then, our butter and powdered sugar is all melted, or not melted, all mixed together. We don't want it melted. And now we're gonna take and put in our flour mixture. And same way, put in about a couple tablespoons, let that mix up, and then add a couple more, and continue on until it's gradually mixed in. Throwing it in all at once, you're gonna get lumps, and it's not gonna be a smooth cream. You wanna keep this light and fluffy, whatever, you know, we want a light, fluffy consistency. So we only want to do a little bit at a time so it's a chance to dissolve in between takes here. That's just like the fair competition. It's like when we do the sugar and everything, how we put the sugar in slowly so that the crystals dissolve, and that's how long you beat it until those crystals dissolve, so you don't get that crunch in the food product at the end, in the end product. Same principle with this. You don't want to bite into chunks of dry nuts, you know, and stuff. So you just want to make sure it's all mixed together fully, thoroughly. And the last 2 tablespoons. There we go. Oh, we gotta set that. Stop. Oh, I'm thinking faster than I'm moving. Rubber spatula, that's what I was looking for. And I'm gonna take this out now, lift this up. You can see what a nice thick batter we have here. Almost like our macaroons and kind of sour. But we want to take and scrape down the sides of our bowl to make sure we get all the ingredients thoroughly blended together, and also to thoroughly mix up the bottom of the bowl so we don't have a big pocket of dry powder on the bottom. So you want to make sure everything is mixed and blended well into this batter here, into this almond batter. And they're right, it's not a heavy sweetness. There's a light sweetness in there from the powdered sugar, but it's not, you know, not like biting into a can of pie filling or something, you know, it's all sugar. So now we just take and add, after we scrape this down now, put it back on low, and we're going to take and put in 1 egg. Make sure it's a large egg, because the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup plus 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. 1/4 cup plus 2 teaspoons. So 1 egg is a 1/4 cup. How do you get 2 teaspoons out of an egg? Is there a joke in that? No. That Henny Goodman was that joke was how much does the hen weigh? Oh, I don't know, what 2 tons? What a ton? I don't know, 1,000 pounds? It's a piano, a hen weigh. Get it? Anyway, we need 2 teaspoons of egg. So 2 teaspoons of egg, how do you get that? Mix the egg up first. Break it up like this. Make a scrambled egg like that. There you go. And then just pour off 2 teaspoons. And what that is, oh, there we go. Actually what it is, it's half the egg amount, because there's like 1/4 cup. Egg is 4 teaspoons, 4 tablespoons. My mistake, sorry. It's my fault. It's not the same. But now this is the egg. And you know how health departments are with eggs. Any raw egg product, whatever, you gotta take and use pasteurized eggs, which is a nice safety tip. Or just make sure you cook it thoroughly when it's baked, you know. That's what the main thing is. And you don't have to beat this wildly now. Just get that egg mixed in there, about 30 seconds or so. We just want to mix that in. And we can scrape this down. And this is all ready for our tart. Ooh. Callie earlier, she'd be licking the beaters. Yeah, she liked the samples. But I don't think I'd give her the samples of this with the raw egg in it though. I don't think so. Now, for the pastry shell, you can use, we're cheating. We're using a pie crust. If you wanted, you could do the puff pastry too. But I have to do the pie crust because I got the 11-inch tart. I should have gotten the 9-inch tart, and my puff pastry sheet would have fit right over it just perfectly. I got, you know, my eyes are bigger than my stomach type of thing. So I got this 11-inch one. It was cheaper to get the 11-inch one than it was to get the 10-inch. The shorter they are, the more expensive they were. I don't know why, but that's the way it was. Because they're more popular, the smaller ones. But anyway, like I said, we sprayed the heck out of that tart pan. And now we're gonna take and put in our pie shell. And we could do the same thing here too if we were like doing quiches. Just put your pie crust in there, mix up your egg batter, pour that in there, and your vegetables and whatever, you know. Makes great little quiches, these instant pie crusts. But I'm doing this, I have a recipe for the pastry, but it's kind of like a cream puff batter, like a pâte chaud, you know, the cream puff, because it gets kind of fluffy and egg and flour, you mix it up on the stove, whatever. But then you gotta let it refrigerate for 2 hours, and I don't have 2 hours tonight. So, like you, taking shortcuts. But these are the shortcuts that I'm teaching you that you can do yourself. And what I'm doing is laying this pie crust into the tart shell, just unrolling it as I go. It's gonna be a perfect fit. But the point is, when you do this, you do not want to stretch that dough out, because when it bakes, it shrinks. And if it was stretched, that part of the dough is going to break open. So then you're going to have a broken tart. It's not going to be, you know, hopefully perfect. That's what I'm aiming for anyway. So you just want to gently lift the dough and press it up against the sides of the pan. But don't stretch it. You want to take and lift it up. And there we go. And like I said, you don't want to take and stretch that out. You want to lift and gently press into it. Now that's the pastry. Okay, now our dough, our filling, our almond creme goes inside next. And this is a 2-cup batch. This is the larger batch amount, which I wanted because I got the larger tart. If you did the 9-inch tart shell with the puff pastry, I would take the amounts of this batter and divide it by thirds and take out 1/3 proportion-wise, so that your batter for the smaller one is only going to be 2/3 of this. But it's so good, I would just make the large batch and eat the rest raw. I don't care. It's good. Or also too, it would just give you, if you put this all in a smaller one, it just gives you a thicker tart. So, you know, this is going to be kind of thin. So if you want a thicker tart, put the same amount in the smaller pan. Anyway, we'll just take and spread this out and around and about on over the our pastry crust. Okay, now those are all that. Oh, hi fishies, hello. Next thing we got to do now is the fruit. Because now we're going to put in our fruit. And I picked out some Plulots. And those are plums that are in season right now. You can use apples or any kind of fruit you wanted to, oranges I suppose. But yeah, any type of fruit that you want, you know, to lay on top of this. Apples work really good too. But I wanted it kind of like a thin knife. Ooh, there we go. Pull it now. So now, if I figured it out, this is going to take a long time. Cut down, top to bottom, so you get half the fruit is cut. Knife out, and then your second cut, you go over 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch. Cut down and then angle it to about a 45-degree angle above the pit, and then you're going to get your little slice. Now we're going to take and arrange these in a lovely sunburst pattern around the tart. That's going to be so fun. It's going to take me like a couple hours here. So I'm going to say, watch this filimercial, and when you get back from watching it, which is only going to be, I don't know, a couple minutes, a minute or so, whatever, the peaches will be, plums will be all done, and it's going to be like 2-3 hours later. But through the magic of TV, we can get this done in a couple seconds. But as you can tell, oh, you can't. I'm going to start layering these all around, spiral this in towards the center, and just overlap them by about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch, as wide as they are thick. And just make sure they're all in one direction. All the slices go in one direction, spiraling around like that, just overlapping slightly. And then we'll be right back. Oh, get out of this heat. Woo! Okay, now this is not the finished product, it's still raw because I'm going to put this in the oven right now. But it's going to be at 350 for approximately 45 minutes, but I want you to see what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, look at that. Gorgeous, very French. And this tart will go on to my baking sheet. And so now with that, this is so beautiful, we're going to bake it and it's going to be even more gorgeous. You want to bake this until there's a firm set to it. And the plums are going to turn color, get darker on you, juicier. We want to put parchment paper down on our baking sheet, just in case it should bubble over. I don't think it will, but just in case, it makes cleanup so much nicer. And we'll put this in the oven now at 350 for 45 minutes, or until everything's dark brown. We want a dark brown to make sure that that crumb gets baked completely on the inside. So we don't want to cut into it and and have raw dough. So it's going to take a good 45 minutes. The plums are going to get dark. The pie crust will get dark. They'll get juicy. They'll have a glazed look to it. It'll be set, you know, like a pecan pie. You want that set look, you know. You don't want it to be wishy-washy, you know. You want it to be firm. And then it'll be done. Then we can take it out and let it cool completely. Do not eat it while it's hot. It's tempting, you know, like a hot piece of apple pie. Not the tarts, because if you cut into them while they're hot, they are juicy. It's gonna, you know, burn your mouth, of course. But not only that, the fruit and stuff are gonna slide over. It's gonna be a big mess because you want it to cool completely and firm back up again at room temperature. Don't put it in the fridge. Just let it cool at room temperature until it's completely cooled down. And that way it'll be set. So when you cut into it, it's like cutting into a quiche. You know, it's firm then. It's not going to be all, the words, I can't think of the words. Gelatinous, is that the word? You know, that runny look, you don't want that. So you want it to take and set up. And we'll just put this in the oven. 350, 45 minutes. And that's going to be it. So from Uncle Roy going off to Paris again, I'm sure, let's see, what is the date? Okay. So 2 weeks, this might be my last show before I'm off to Paris. I leave on the 9th of September. So stay tuned and keep looking on my page, The Northwoods Cooking Show, on Facebook. And you can just go on Facebook and befriend me and I'll friend you anytime, anybody, anywhere. And you can watch all my uploads of Live in Paris. Oh my God, it's gonna be so much fun. Uploads of pictures I take of everything and videos I take of everything. And I'll just be going crazy. Last year, thanks to you all, my likes on Facebook went up 650%. Oh my God, I almost had a heart attack when I saw that. Shoo, that was the highest ratings I ever had on my shows. It was when I was in Paris. So now I feel like Babar the elephant going off to Paris, you know? It's gonna be exciting, it's gonna be fun, I'm gonna have a wonderful time, and I really, really need this vacation to get away from all the stress and whatever around, you know? I need to chill out and get my thoughts back together again and get centered again. So, au revoir, and I wanna say healthy eating, be safe, and spread the sunshine, and have a good time while I'm gone too. Bye-bye.